Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about different healing modalities and whether or not these healing modalities might be right for you. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Melissa, and this is the Sacredness Within You. Wow, my voice. Where I've created this channel to help you rediscover that sacredness that lies within you, to bring healing to your inner feminine and your inner masculine, so you can learn to dance together with these energies in order to create the life that your heart desires, and along the way to bring some healing to the feminine collective. And I am a Reiki master. I am an intuitive coach and guide. And for those of you that are into the human design world, I am a 3/5 emotional projector. So I'm here to help guide others, and I get to experience life to the fullest and learn what not to do and what to do, so you can take these tools and start applying them to your life. And in today's video, I want to dive into just talking about modalities that we have to bring healing to ourselves and to help us align to our truth and to really embody our natural essence of who we are, and to start creating the life that we came here to live. And one of the things that you hear me talk about over and over and over again in my videos is I talk about there's multiple ways to getting to where it is that you are going. And if somebody says there's only one way, run for the hills. Run for the hills. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's creating abundance, if it's losing weight, if it's ascending to a higher level of consciousness, whatever it is. If they only say there's one way, run. Run. Because I like to use the example of, I live here in Minnesota, and say I'm wanting to go out to LA. Thinking about going out there, let's think about all the ways that I can get there, like the ways of transportation. I could walk, I could bike, I could drive a car, I could go by plane, I could go by bus, I could go by train, I could go by helicopter. I think that might be it. So like just to getting there, there's 7 different ways I could get there by transportation. Different modalities of transportation I can use. Just 7. And there might be more. But then if I think about what pathway I'm going to take from Minneapolis out to LA, there are probably millions of different pathways I can take to get there. But every single pathway that I take is going to help me get to my journey. Some, yes, might be faster than others. Some might take me longer, but the people that I encounter, the experiences that I have, the lessons that I get to learn are all going to be different. And that's the same way in our journey of awakening. There is not just one path to ascending to a higher level of consciousness. There's just not one way to help you heal. And no matter what pathway you take on your journey, it is always going to lead you to where it is that you are wanting to go. I like to think that there is one path that's in our highest alignment for our highest good. And sometimes we detour off of that path. But thankfully, we have a loving God and loving universe, and they gently push us back onto this pathway so we can follow this path that's in our highest good. And on this path that we're on, we are called to dive into various parts of us, to see these parts of us, to accept, to heal, to integrate, and even to take on new ways of being by doing this work that we're doing. And so try not to get caught up in how you're going to get there or what way you're going to get there, but just to attune to what it is that is your truth. For me, when I look over the past 6 years of my awakening, I use various tools to help me on my path. Some I've used my whole entire time. Others I've used periodically. Some I have never used. But for me, when I actually awakened, I had no idea I was awakening. I had already met my twin flame, and I had went through 2 really traumatic events back to back in a short amount of time. Those 2 events is what cracked me wide open, and I began to start seeing these parts of me that I couldn't see before or I didn't want to see. But also too, it made me realize that I was living a lie. I wasn't in alignment with who I was in terms of my truth and my beliefs. And I was just doing everything that I could to fit into society. And doing that was actually creating me a lot of pain and a lot of suffering. And I no longer wanted to do that. And I had no idea what that I was awakening. All I knew was I wanted to become a better version of myself because the life that I was living wasn't really fulfilling me. And I knew that I was here for more than what it was that I was experiencing. And so I turned within. Every day I would go to the beach. I would sit at the beach, and it was like I would receive this download of information in terms of how to move forward in my journey. What did I need to use for tools to help me heal? And what things were actually needing to be seen within me that I wasn't able to see up until this time. And probably like 9 months after this all was happening, I discovered that I was on the twin flame journey. And then I realized that if I'm on this twin flame journey, well, I'm ascending to a higher level of consciousness as well. And looking into this stuff and trying to understand was really overwhelming for me. So overwhelming. I became frustrated. I actually just put up my shield and was like, I'm done. And I stopped for a couple weeks. And I didn't know where to turn because I felt really lost. I felt really confused because everything that I was doing was actually going against what others were telling me that I needed to do. But yet I was feeling the best that I ever had, and I was starting to see these dramatic shifts in my reality. And so I did a typical pattern that I always did, and I walked away from my inner knowing, and I started following and believing and trusting in those that had been on the path longer and those that had more experience, more education, more certifications than I did. And that was a big lesson for me, which is why I'm so adamant and so passionate about telling people to align with your truth, to take what resonates with you in videos that you hear from me, videos that you hear from other people, and take that part and then run with it as if it's yours and leave the rest. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that it's not your truth, because remember, this journey is about remembering and rediscovering who you are and what it is that is your truth. And our truth actually changes and shifts as we expand consciousness. And it may be that your truth that you're experiencing right now just isn't in alignment with where I am in my experience. And that is okay as well, because we are human beings. We are spiritual beings, I should say, having a human experience. And so once I really realized that I didn't know where to turn and what to go to, and I felt overwhelmed by everything that was being shown to me, I shut down and I actually stopped doing the work. But everything was intensifying around me because thankfully we have a loving God and universe, and they will nudge me and nudge you to get back on track to ascend to a higher level of consciousness. I truly believe that there is one path that we have that is in our highest alignment. It is a path that is like full of ease and grace and always helping us grow into a bigger soul and a bigger being. Doesn't mean that it doesn't have challenges, because it does. But then I also truly believe too that there are millions upon millions of pathways to get to wherever it is that you're going. So in this case, if we're talking about ascending to a higher level of consciousness, there is millions and millions of ways to get there. Just like if I were to go from here to California, there's many, many ways to get there. We think about the modalities in which I could take to get there. I could walk, I could ride a bike, I could drive a car, I could take a bus, I could take a train, I could take a helicopter, and I could take a plane. I think those are all the ways that I could probably get there by. And that's 7 different ways. And then if you were to think about the pathway in terms of what I get there, there's probably millions. Yes, one pathway is going to be faster. Obviously, taking the plane, direct flight is going to be the fastest, most efficient way. But my experiences that I have are going to be very limited and very different than, say, if I were to walk. It's going to take me a lot longer. I'm probably going to have different experiences, a lot of experiences, a lot of interactions with people. And so it doesn't make one better than the other. There's just simply just different. And so I want you to think of that too in terms of your healing journey. You know, there's different pathways to go to where it is that you're going. And somebody says there's only one way, run for the hills. There isn't just one way to make abundance or to create abundance. There isn't just one way to heal. There isn't just one way to ascend to a higher level of consciousness. There isn't just one way to lose weight. There are multiple ways to get to where it is that we're going. And I really want you to learn to embrace that. And so once I really realized that, I started listening to my intuition and saying, what is it that I need to do in order to ascend to a higher level of consciousness? And when I say this, it's because I want to expand as a soul. And I want to elevate my consciousness to a place I've never had before. And in the beginning, I used to do it from a place of lack, of thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. Like I need to continue to heal to be a healer, or I need to continue to heal to show up on Instagram and in YouTube and create this content. And I realized that was a part of me that needed to be healed, and to start sharing my journey and to be okay with where I am in my journey, because there's medicine in that as well. And that no matter where you are in your journey, you can start creating the life that you desire. There just might be some things that are blocking you along the way. And sometimes it's just a simple clearing to help you with that. But as I started on my journey and really diving into this work, there are actually 3 things that I do consistently in my journey that have helped me the most. The first one is journaling. So you hear me talk about it all the time, doing inner work. My journal is something that I take with me everywhere I go. I take time every single day to dive into inner work and to reflect upon what it is that's being shown in my 3D reality. Because remember, what we're feeling on the inside is being projected out to our 3D reality to help us rediscover these parts. And sometimes when we're in our mind, it's really hard to see what it is that we need to be able to see. And so when I start writing down in my journal, I'm starting from my mind, and then what happens is I drop into my body. And I start writing from my body, because our body keeps score. Our body knows everything that has happened to us, where our mind will block some things and store and file things away, so we may not have access to that. The other is meditating. I practice a very specific way of meditating. Oftentimes people think meditation is about like stopping all our thoughts. And the reality is we can't. We have an ego, we have a mind, and so it's about bringing awareness to our thoughts. And it's about creating gaps between our thoughts and to just watch them. So when I'm meditating, it helps me reconnect to who I am and to reconnect to my body and bringing me back into alignment. And through this, I can watch my thoughts like a movie, because my thoughts then are helping me understand where I am on my journey, and I watch them without shame, without judgment, just simply see them for what they are. So when I come out of meditation, I have an idea of like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't see this until now, so I need to dive into this. Also too, I use meditation to help me receive guidance and download in terms of my healing journey. Also too, how to show up and what things to offer in terms of products and services for you guys, and what content to create. So I get a lot of guidance in helping me move forward in my journey. But also too, meditation reminds me just to be. And to know that by meditating and being, that I am worthy of that. And that it helps me just remember that I'm here to be and to have this incredible life, and that we don't need to be going all the time. The third thing that I do almost consistently in some way, shape, or form is energy work. I do self-Reiki many times throughout the week. every time I am doing Reiki with a client, I'm also healing myself because I am that channel where the energy flows through. I've done multi-dimensional energy transformation healing with a practitioner. I am currently learning how to do that as well, so I can help people with that. And then also too, I've done emotion code and body code healing. And the multidimensional and then the emotion code, I've done various times throughout my journey. Like emotion code I did for a while when I had an injury. And I cleared, oh my gosh, I think like over 300, maybe even up to this day, like 500 different trapped emotions that were in my body. Some of them creating pain. Some of them were inherited from many generations in my lineage. And it's one of the ways that I've actually was able to heal the abandonment issues that I was having within me, because no matter how much inner work I did, I couldn't access this part of me. I didn't know that abandonment had been in my family lineage for 18 generations. I had no idea. And I wouldn't have been able to access this without doing energy work. You know, and most recently with my multidimensional transformation healing that I had is I learned that I am growing as a soul, like as an energy field. And as I grow and heal, I'm connecting to various parts of me that I haven't connected to before. You know, other souls from previous lifetimes that remember me as a healer that maybe we had a great experience with, or maybe we didn't have so great of experience with. And these people can end up blocking me from my soul's purpose and mission. So it's healing and transforming those energies from those lifetimes as well. Right now in my training, I wouldn't be able to do that. And so I have somebody that is helping me access those parts as well. And that's all it is thinking about having somebody have the eyes for you. When I say eyes, it's usually this eye, to see the things that you can't see. Perhaps because you're unwilling, you're unable to, or you simply just don't want to. And one of the things about being a projector is I have this incredible ability when I meet people to know things about them just by reading their energy and who they are and how they're showing up, and to see kind of like what their problems are. And then I receive like guidance in terms of how they can move forward with overcoming that issue and providing them with a solution. But as a projector, I just can't offer up my advice to anyone because it's not always welcome. And I have to wait for the invitation for those to receive guidance. So for those of you that are showing up in my videos and showing up in my programs, you are in alignment with what it is that I'm saying. And I've invited you in, like you're inviting me in to be in your space. So thank you for those of you that are showing up and doing this work with me. But see like how important it is to be willing to have somebody do that for you. Like I think about every job that I've always had a mentor or somebody to help me create what it is that I'm creating. And and there are times when we need to do things on our own, but also too, we need to realize that there are people out there that have tools and techniques that can help support us to bring us up to a higher level. You know, when you think about the different modalities, I mean, we talked about inner work, we talked about journaling, we talked about meditation, energy work. Just within energy work, I talked about 3. And within Reiki, there's like, I don't know, 22 or something different types of forms of Reiki. All have different ways of utilizing this energy in the ways that they bring about healing. And then like within the emotion code, they're even adding another layer to that part as well. And so energy work is very expansive because we look at even to like quantum healing techniques and quantum energy, stuff like that. I mean, there's so much available to us just within energy healing. And yes, it would be great to be able to do all of those, right? But at the same time, are all of those things necessary for you on your path? Like if you were to look over at my corner over here, I have tons of books, and I have tons of books that I save like on my phone as well, to my iBooks that I've read that have helped me remember and access these parts of me. and so books are a really great way as well to help you remember and to access these parts. I mean, yoga is really great. Somatic practices in terms of like somatic breath work, somatic exercise, somatic movement. So even within this somatic umbrella, there's multiple modalities underneath there, and then we look at hypnosis, we look at affirmations. I mean, then the ways that people coach one another, there's different ways that people coach, and so I want you to know that there isn't just one way, and that all of these programs and all of these ways that people are showing up in terms of the modalities that they offer for you to heal and to step into who you are all really powerful. They all are transformative, and I'm sure all these people out there are great at what they do, but is it in alignment with what it is that your soul is wanting you to experience? So yes, I go back to the part of like, there's a million different ways to get to where you're going, and everything will help you. But instead of spinning your wheels and wondering and investing in things that might not bring you to where it is that you're wanting to go, dive into yourself inward, turn within, and ask yourself, like, what is it that you're meant to do in terms of helping you expand your consciousness? Like, what really resonates with you? Like most recently, I was on this like 2-day call. It was like a little summit. And the presenter, I really liked her energy. I liked how she presented things and how she talked about things, like really resonated with me. And her journey really resonated with me. But the program that she was offering and that she was sharing didn't align with me. It didn't feel like it was what I needed at this point in time in my journey. Maybe like 4 years ago in my journey, absolutely, I could have benefited from one of her group, that group that she was talking about. But where I'm at in my journey right now, I was wanting something to support me in my business and helping me become a better business owner and helping me provide me direction and helping me create something, because I recognize that within me and throughout my life's history was, no matter what it was that I did, when something was brand new, I'm not great at starting that and creating it from scratch without the support of others. I just have noticed that about myself. But what I'm really good at is taking something that's already established, seeing the problems and identifying the solutions in order to make it better and taking it from being here up to here. That is my strength. So I recognize I needed somebody to support me on my path in this way. And then sure enough, as soon as I realized that, up came this email about another program and offering that she had that was like a full body yes. Like everything within me was like, yes, I need to be in this group. Yes, I need to be in this space. So when you're getting a full body yes, like your body is like screaming to yes, you need to participate in this, that is a sign that that is the right path for you, and to honor that path, because whatever it is that you are going to experience in that modality, that program, that service, that offering is going to help you get to where it is that you're wanting to go, and to honor that part of you, because that's your intuition guiding you. That's your intuition speaking to you. And so try not to get caught up in trying to figure out like all this stuff in terms of like, how do you integrate this modality, this one, this one, this one, because sometimes, remember, less is more. And to honor that part of you that is trying to help you align to what it is that is for your highest good. And so my friends, I hope that help you understand that there's so many different types of modalities out there. We're not intended to use all of them. And some modalities are used for you at various times in your journey. And what you utilize in the beginning of your journey, you may outgrow that and need something further, something different when you're further on your journey, and just to align with that. And then sometimes there's things like I have that are just my staples that continue to help me ascend to where it is I'm wanting to go. And so my friends, I would love to hear from you. What are your favorite modalities that you use in helping you ascend to a higher level of consciousness? And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching my videos and you watch more than one, I highly encourage you to become a subscriber. And that way you don't miss out on any videos, but also too, it's just a really great way to support my channel and the work that I do. And I would love to be able to hear from you because I'm here to serve you. And I want to make sure that I'm not only creating content that is really valuable to me and my journey, what it is that I've learned, but I also want to be able to support you on your journey as well. And with that being said, I'm going to drop in the description box down below the link to my website because I have created some really incredible programs, some that have already started, some that are happening in the near future. And so if they are a full body yes, then I want you to integrate yourself into these spaces and to really start diving into this work and journey in this life with me. And so my friends, I'm sending you all so much love and light and can't wait to connect with you in the next video.